Hello, everybody. How's it going? It's me, and look, it's Wilmer, too.
Yeah,
Jerry gets the cookie tonight.
yeah.
Weatherman Harry, Thomas Moore, how are you? Daryl, how are you doing? Dwight, sorry, Dwight, you didn't get the cookie.
Neither did Wigwag.
Yeah, neither did Wigwag, yeah. Artie, how are you doing? Sorry, Wigwag. There's Race Fan, there's John Schoolkill River, and
Artie,
Artie, I said hi, Artie. I think I did.
Joe Rader.
Joe Rader, how's it going, man?
Joe!
Tennessee River, Lynn McCurdy. And I think that's all I see right now.
That's all he sees.
Nobody wanted to come and watch, only 9 people.
Oh, they'll show up. But it is summertime.
That's right.
Probably the reason why Wigwag didn't get the cookie. He was probably out mowing the grass or something.
Yeah, taking a nap. That's probably it. Well, there's Dan's model railroading journey. How are you
There
doing?
you go.
Jim
Tedesco. Jim Tedesco.
Yeah. And so just a reminder, if y'all want to, I know there hasn't been a lot of activity, but if you're on MeWe, we've got a MeWe model train channel. Wilmer hadn't even been on there in a while.
No, I thought it quit existing, to be honest with you, because never saw any activity on her channel.
There's activities, somewhat. Nathan posts a lot. Nathan DeLay, and Jason does, and then even soundtracks. So, and also don't forget to go and buy your Flying Crow merchandise. Make me rich.
There's also On Track Tuesday merchandise on that same channel.
Don't tell them about that.
So if you wanted a real nice On Track Tuesday shirt,
yeah,
there you go.
In fact, what I suggest you do is get a set of mugs, On Track Tuesday mugs, and Flying Crow mugs, so you can have in your cabinet there, display them, like your fine china, right?
There's my little brother.
Yep, I said hi to Harry, I think.
You have a Flying Crow billboard.
How about that, Lynn? I'd have to see that.
That's all right.
Artie says he's behind with my videos trying to get the track work done on the layout. I know how that is because I'm trying to get work done too. I am going to have an op session on Saturday. I've got 3 people coming.
And I ain't one of them.
And you're not one of them, no. I don't know why Wilmer doesn't want to drive down to Texas for an op session.
I wasn't invited.
Oh. Well, consider yourself invited. So hop on a plane and
I can't change my plans now.
Oh, I see. Bernard, how's it going? Manshed, how are you doing? Yeah, it's you can't change your plans now. I see. Yeah, it's an excuse. Wilmer, you need more light, Wilmer. You're looking like a pumpkin.
Oh well.
You're looking orange.
This is your show. You're gonna. I want you to make the thing single place here soon, and I'm gonna be in the background just talking.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. We're still. Oh, I know another thing. In October, Plano, Texas. There is a train show. Let me see what dates they are. Let me look. It is, well, I don't want the January one. No. Let's see. Hold on. I got to find the dates. There it is. September 29th and through October 1st. Oh, no, that's hotels, though. So it's whichever is Saturday. Is that September 29th or 30th?
October. You say September?
September. September 30th and 31st. That is the dates of the train show in Plano, Texas, which is a Dallas suburb.
Saturday's 30th.
Yeah. So I will be there on Saturday the 30th, and Grandpa Rails will be there as well, and I think Jack's going to be there. So if you're in the Dallas area on September 30th, plan on going to the train show for any meet and greet.
You said Plano, Texas.
Yeah, that's Dallas area.
Oh.
It's just a suburb of Dallas.
Oh.
So there's Anthony, Georgia Sunbelt.
Anthony, how's it going, my friend?
That's right, Jim. Orange Man good.
There.
Oh, now you're just dark.
All right.
So plan on that. Like I said, 3 of us will be there. I think Jack's going to be there. I'm not sure, but I know myself and John Dilly will be there.
Hi, Bernard. Bernard C.
We're doing wonderfully. We are blessed. That's how we're doing. Dark man good, yes. Yeah, so that's I think that's the only announcement I have. Because the April show in Timonium has not been scheduled yet.
It has for the fall.
Yeah, I know, but not for April.
What do you mean? You don't want to drive up from Texas?
No, I don't. No, do not.
Oh, I didn't bring up any cough drops.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
So this evening, if you saw the description, you know what I'm going to do. But if you didn't see the description, you don't know what I'm going to do. So, but I'm going to show you first what I have been doing. So I've been working a little back over in this area. Let me turn my camera. I've been finishing the backdrop in that one section, and I had to kind of redo my pasture. My pasture at the back where it met the backdrop had a big dip in it. So I filled that in and then re-scenicked it. That's one thing I was doing.
You had to heard the conversation on that dip.
Yes. And Wilmer just didn't want me to fill it in.
I said, leave it, man. Fields have dips in them, man.
Yeah.
No.
No, Robert had to fill it in.
Hi, Michael McCarville.
Hey, Michael. But Picasso at work. It did give me a chance, though, to to work on my backdrop a little bit more and do some things I wanted to do. I made it, I got the trees a little higher, and I wanted to do that. So, but I've been working on my telephone poles. And let me show you what I did. I will pull one out because I don't have them glued in, and I don't think I will. There's really no reason to.
Hold on to your socks.
So I got my telephone poles done. You can see here. So, but I'm going to zoom in, and look, what do you see?
Look what's on the side of that. That ain't splinters either.
So I took all my telephone poles and I put the pole climbers on them. Pole pegs, whatever you want to call them. Pegs. So I cut each one of those individually from some 8/10,000ths bronze wire. And then drilled the holes and then glued them in. So they're spaced. I looked it up, so I got the right spacing. They're 32 inches apart, which is 3/8 of an inch.
You didn't tell me that before.
Oh yeah. They are spaced correctly. So, and then of course on the opposite side they're in the middle. So those are also 32 inches. So on each side, if you took each side, they're 16 inches apart. I know my camera doesn't really focus. I don't think it focuses. But
hi, Ray Bertelson.
Hey, Ray, how's it going?
He's getting his loaner layout back from his mom and sons. Oh, from mom and sons. Oh, okay. He must have lent a layout to mom and sons.
Oh, okay, that's good. So anyway, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Once you get going on it, you can kind of get it done a lot quicker than I thought. It only took me about half an hour for each pole. So, and
God bless you.
Wilmer's just laughing at me.
God bless you.
So that's what I did for my poles, and I used up here for painting the insulators. I used a metallic teal and metallic dark red for painting the insulators. I don't know how well you can see those.
Michael McCarville likes your shirt.
Oh yeah, my flamingos. Yes. My wife's on vacation, so I figured I'd this is my bachelor shirt. I'm living flamingos. Yes. So the I don't know if you're aware of it. Some people aren't. There were different color insulators. Most of them are that greenish, bluish green color. And then you will find some clear ones and some red ones and some orange yellow ones. So the reason there's different color insulators is some of those were power lines. And the different color insulator were used for the power lines versus the communication lines.
Yeah, I still say I never remember. I don't remember seeing a red, insulator.
Yeah,
I've seen the blue ones.
Yeah, they have, but they did have red ones. I remember the red.
You.
They're not as prevalent because there weren't as many. Most of the lines were communication lines rather than power lines. So
you got to make your screen bigger so people can really see it.
Yeah. How's that?
No, make your screen bigger.
Oh, you want me to do a solo?
Go a solo screen. You'll still hear me. Believe me, I ain't going nowhere unless you kick me off.
There we go.
Michael says he has a flat car with flamingos escaping from the crates on the flat car. He made it for his wife.
And yes, Anthony, you're not drunk. You are really seeing pink flamingos.
I think that's pretty cool. You know, that
Yeah.
what Michael said he made for his wife. That's pretty cool. You'll have to show that on your show sometime there, Michael.
Oh,
you
yeah,
did.
I'd like to see
seen it.
that.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Plumber. How's it going, man?
Hi,
Good,
Plumber.
Stephen. Good to see you. Yeah, and it just depends on the railroad what color they use for the power lines. I mean, yeah, you see clear ones. KCS, at least up where I was, used red ones. So
There's a couple old abandoned poles out here behind my house, and I went out to look to see if there was still any insulators on them.
yeah,
They're all gone.
Hmm.
I don't know. Somebody just shot them off or went up there and
probably.
yeah.
But anyway, so tonight, what I'm going to be doing, thanks, Stephen. Tonight, what I'm going to be doing, and you will only do this if you're a masochist, is stringing my telephone poles. You really has to be something wrong with you to want to string telephone poles. Right, Wilmer?
Or put foot pegs on the side of the poles.
Yeah, that's right. The stringing's the harder part, believe me.
And he spent 2 days figuring out what size those pegs should be. So he didn't want to make them too big. Somebody'd notice.
That's
I
right.
love rivet counters.
Don't you though? So let's see, 008, oh, 0.008 times
What are you doing?
0.1.
Figuring out if your cord's the right size.
I'm figuring out the thickness. 0.7. So
Jim said he always strung his poles.
so basically they're 11/16 thick, which is, I think, 8 thousandths bronze wire is as small as it goes. I've never seen anything lower than 10 thousandths.
You
rather.
put bronze wire on?
That's what I made the little foot pegs out of.
Oh.
Yeah. So they're 11/16 thick, which is a little thick, but that's as thin as I can get bronze wire. So Artie's training spiders to do his.
Yeah.
There's Possum Bayou eating watermelon.
I'm starting to look at Indian Head to have underground wiring.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So what I'm going to do, let me tell you a few lessons that I have learned too late in life when stringing power lines. One of the lessons is you want all of the scenery behind the power lines done and the scenery in front of them not done as much as possible.
Well, that makes logical sense.
Because you're going to be bending over and trying to get the thing strung. So the next thing I learned is just do one line at a time. I am using this stuff that in scale is 7/16 of an inch thick, and I think it's 1/10,000th of an inch, so it equates out to about 7/16 of an inch thick, which is about the right size. But it gets tangled so easily. So don't try to put all the lines on a power pole at one time. Just do one at a time, and that'll save you a lot of grief, believe me.
I know when people string their poles, it does look cool. I can't imagine doing switching around them.
Well, that's why I made sure they were on the back side of my track. That's another thing. Make sure those poles are on the back side of your track on your layout.
Even if that isn't prototypical?
Well, it wouldn't matter. The railroad put them on either side, so it doesn't really matter.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing tonight? Dennis from Otter Creek's in here.
Hey, Dennis.
And so is Rusty from Possum Hollow. And Dennis wants to know what's going on. Are we removing mosquitoes from the pond? No, he's putting some wires on the poles so that the mosquitoes have some place to land.
That's right. There'll be birds on my layout. That's my birds and mosquitoes.
Yeah. And they're not going to be flamingos.
Nope. So what I'm going to do is get my plates. I've got some paper plates here, and I've got my toothpicks and my glue, my super glue, and my zip kicker.
Your what?
Zip kicker.
Oh, okay. CA accelerator.
Yeah, so that accelerates. Because what I do is I put a drop of glue on, put the wire on, and then spray it with this. So, and you still have to hold it for about 10 or 15 seconds. So you can't just let it go immediately, even with the zip kicker stuff. So. And I'm going to put my hood on because these things impossible to see. And I've got a little lantern here that I'm going to sit behind it just so I can see what I'm doing.
To attract the mosquitoes.
Yes, to attract the mosquitoes.
Does it have a built-in zapper that you can hear go every so?
Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Or is it just too hot for the mosquitoes right now?
That's right. It's too hot for it. So I have my line. I don't know if you can see it. What?
Somebody said your cat's could have just loved the stringed poles. Didn't even think of that, did you?
He's been good when there's something in the way. He doesn't get on that part of the layout, so that's good. I hope he continues to be like that. All right, so I'm working on the backside insulator, and I'm going to work from the inside out. And when I get on the front side of the pole, on this side, I'm going to work from the inside out as well. So, but I'm going to do all the lines on the back side first. And all I'm doing is I'm holding it kind of tight against the insulator. Don't worry about sag. You know, I know I know power lines sag to a degree, but you're never going to pull these tight enough for them not to sag. So don't worry about the sag.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Dwayne. Dwayne's Fork and Spoons in.
Hey,
Ian,
Dwayne. Hey, Ian. If you,
Lei.
if you just pull them tight, there's going to be enough sag in the line. So don't worry about that. Like I said, I still, even with the zip kicker, I've still got to hold it for a little bit. And I hold it, yeah, I hold it for about 30 seconds. So. Yeah, I know there's always a big discussion on how much sag there should be in the lines, but you're never going to get it. You're never going to pull it tight enough for there not to be some kind of sag in them. You pull it that tight, and you're just going to break the poles. Is all you're going to do.
You know, I saw on Adventures with Bill
Yeah,
on his, he's got them fairly tight.
yeah, and and because, like I said, you're not going to. The amount of sag and HO scale is negligible. You won't. It just doesn't. It just doesn't make any sense in a scale world to have that much sag in it.
I got something. I'm going to say that. It's hard. Artie says it's hard to find a good city backdrop. The
It
best
is.
ones I've seen, Artie, are ones that people actually made themselves by using, flats and things like that. Tom's Trains and Things does a nice job. Yeah, you missed it. We already kind of discussed the flamingo shirt, uh, Dennis.
Who said that?
Dennis, he just said, "Did I miss the discussion on the shirt?"
And as you can see it, I had already started this line, so
They want to know if you're selling flamingo shirts on Teespring.
no, but I shouldn't I?
Rusty's like just loving it.
Do you know where I got this flamingo shirt?
Louisiana.
No, Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. There you go, guys. There's your in for flamingo shirts.
Yeah, if you want a flamingo shirt, Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. Watch them be sold out. Because there's a supply chain shortage.
All right, so
Oh, Joe got his T-shirt yesterday. He said,
oh, good.
"Cool."
Glad he got it.
Hiya, Heath. Heath's in the house.
Yeah, like I said, be careful with this stuff because it gets tangled in everything.
You need to get a close up. I can't see the string.
Huh?
Nothing. Don't let me mess you up. Rusty says he eats a Cracker Barrel every Saturday with his mom.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, maybe you ought to take a look. If you're like me though, Rusty, or uh, I shoot through them. I call it the tourist trap every time I'm at Cracker Barrel. I don't even look at that stuff.
All right. There we go. That's one. One down.
Dennis from Otter Creek says he needs he wants a black optivisor like you got.
Yeah.
White is so over the top. And Robert, you're the king of model railroad work attire. I'll bet you he says you have amazing flip flops on as well.
No, sorry, I've just got running shoes on.
Running shoes. That would be perfect if you had flip flops on. You'd look like you'd fit in at Florida.
There we go. You can see this pole is an older pole and started to sag. So I've got a support brace on it. How's that? Wilmer's just laughing at me. I don't know what's that all about.
Well, I can see the one pole anyhow.
Wilmer's just laughing.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go back over to this side and start over again on this pole. So what I did is, see, I tried to put all the wires on first, which became a complete nightmare. Don't do that. They will get tangled, and you will never get them untangled. So now, this is the one I want to do. And you have to be really careful at this point. Because I don't want to mess up the other one. Now, another good thing is, at least it's good for me, is that all of these insulators didn't necessarily have wires on them. Some of them, just the insulators were there with no wires. And that's what I'm going to model. Because otherwise I'd be stringing 30 wires.
So what you're telling me is they had extra insulators and stuff on the pole, so in case they didn't have to string a whole line again.
Correct.
All right. That almost makes sense. Back when they made them insulators, they probably made them for pennies.
Oh, I'm sure they did. And now you can buy them in antique stores for $15.
You can find them for $10. Some people think they have a hunk of gold there.
We used to, when I was kids, go along the railroad track and pick those things up.
Yeah, I know.
And then we take them home, and your parents
shoot them out. Shoot them with a gun.
Throw those old things away. You don't need any of those. Little did they know. There we go. Stretch that out a little bit. All right. Here we go. Wire number 2. Does anybody have any questions about what I'm doing, or are you just laughing at me?
No, you know what? My okay. Otter Creek wants to know what are the materials you're using for the poles.
I used some wooden dowels that I got at, I think I ordered them off of Amazon. Anything between 1/8 and 3/16 of an inch is good for a telephone pole. When you get into power poles in your neighborhood, you'll want to go a little bit smaller.
Rusty said years ago he did poles with wires on his N scale.
Oh,
You imagine
more
that?
power to you.
I don't know if you heard him. He said they're wooden dowels that he had got. Dennis. Uh, what were you using for the?
Either 1/8 or 3/16 of an inch wooden dowels.
Yeah, 1/8 or 3/16 of an inch wooden dowels.
And the cross arms are ricks.
The cross arms are from Ritz.
Ricks.
Ricks.
Yeah, RIX.
The insulator's already on them.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they're telephone poles. They telegraph poles, whatever you want to call them, alongside the tracks.
Yeah, you don't have them anymore because they're not necessary. But up
Yeah.
until the 80s, you'd see them. Now you once in a while you'll see one that's left over.
Joe wants to know if you're going to put any transformers on them poles.
Not on these. These are communication poles. They're not power.
Yeah, they're communication poles. That's why they have the red insulators on them, right?
Well, that's for the electricity.
Well, if they're electricity, they need to have transformers, don't they?
Not until you get to a point of where you're going to drop the power somewhere. The transformers you see on poles are step down transformers.
Oh, really?
For when you provide power to a house or a business or something.
There's James Gotten from Dundas Junction. How you doing tonight?
Hey, James. Like I said, even with the zip kicker, you got to still hold it for about 15 or 20 seconds.
Rusty said the red insulators were for the high-speed Morse code.
High-speed Morse code.
Yep.
And like I said, the pole pegs I used 10 thousandths bronze wire to make those. Whew. Believe me, I won't be doing these all at one time.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Because it's tedious.
Which ones are for the old AOL dial-up connection?
There wasn't no such thing in 1976.
There was, you just didn't know it.
Not there was no internet in 1976.
It was top secret,
No, it was.
along with the aliens.
Always have your zip kicker within reach. I don't know what the zip kicker's made out of, but it stinks.
It probably says somewhere on the can. Yeah, he's stringing the poles. Somewhere behind all those flamingos, that's what he's doing, Dennis.
Behind all the flamingos, huh?
Yep. If you look to the right there, you can see where he stopped, and there's his fueling station, or whatever you want to call it. They're represented by the two Elmer's glue bottles,
What?
and the salad dressing maker there.
Salad dress. You mean my refinery?
Yeah, I guess that's what you want to call it.
It's further that way.
Well, you got a whole bunch of boxes and bottles there. I had to call it something.
Yeah.
And Ian said for his N scale power lines, he used floral wire.
Floral wire. Huh? This is stuff you use for beading, to make those beads, necklaces and stuff. Take a break just a second. It's, like I said, it's tedious. It's not hard. It's just tedious.
You're more patient at it than I'd be. Yeah, you're a lot more patient at it than I'd be.
All I can say is have everything within a short reach while you're doing this. It does get tangled into everything. Let's see if you got trees on your layout.
Jim, I think he's using something similar to that. He said stretchy bead cord for beading for making necklaces. Is that what you're using, Robert?
Yeah, that's what I'm using.
Yeah. Hi, Gary Shanks. How you doing, buddy? Dennis from Otter Creek in Rio Grande says he's considering using elastic string like they used in construction of biplanes. He said you wouldn't need to pull it taut, and if you snag it, it would stretch.
Yeah, I don't.
He says proof of concept pending. Otherwise, he hasn't tried it yet.
This is the only thing I have found that was small enough.
See, Robert was worried about it being small enough, the right size. And he said this was the only thing he could find. I suggested that, Eon, that to use a fishing line, or you're saying to use a steel leader. I don't know about that, but fishing line you can get in very small diameters too.
Yeah, I couldn't get it this small though. I looked.
Oh, you looked.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're in Texas and everything down there is bigger.
That's right.
Except the deer.
Now let's see if I can do this.
Dwayne says you need a pond with flamingos on your layout.
I do?
Do you have flamingos in your swamp?
I'll have pelicans in there.
He has pelicans in there. I guess that's close enough.
I haven't painted my pelicans yet. I need to paint them. What?
Nothing.
Are there more people laughing at me?
What's that?
Are there more people laughing at me?
No, nobody's laughing at you, buddy.
You know, like I said, if you're masochistic enough to do this,
That's what I do, Jim. I simulate power lines on power poles. Otherwise, I imagine they're there, but they ain't. I doubt if I'm going to even put poles in just because I know I'll be knocking them over. I'm like a bull in a china shop. Yeah, I'm hiding. Yeah. Believe me, wouldn't you rather look at flamingo shirts than my face? I have to get out some of my fancy shirts, I guess. I can't
yeah,
let I can't let Robert one up me. Dennis says no one's laughing at you, that he is inspired by your fashion statements and all the stringing of tiny bead wire. He said outstanding.
yeah, I should have turned the camera, but I didn't.
I don't think we could see your wire anyhow, to be honest with you.
You know, just putting two on here makes a difference. You can start to see it. The
Yeah. Oh,
one
I'm
is,
sure.
but the two makes a huge difference. You know, my wife's going to be the one that laughs at me.
Why is that?
She says, I can't believe you're going to do that."
I kind of agree with her. I can't believe you did that either.
All right. There we go. That's two down. 28 to go. But yeah, like I said, I if, from now on, when I'm stringing these, I'm going to do one at a time. What I did initially was try to put them all on this one pole, so I'd have something to start with. But that's not a good option. Believe me, that's not a good option.
No, I can just see that being a nightmare.
Yeah.
Putting them all on at one time and then trying to string them one more time. I can see being all tangled up.
Yeah. See, I don't know if you can see the lines real well now.
No, I don't see it at all. Yeah, the whole thing for sure is will your cat see it?
Yeah.
Oh, there we can see it. Yeah, that's what you needed to do. Oh, I can see it.
Yeah, so you can see the lines now. Huh?
You're going to do all three tiers?
Yep.
Hmm.
I am. Yeah, so, like I say, I think the best thing though is to work from the inside out towards the back, and then the inside out towards the front. I think that's the best And like I said, don't worry about the sag because it's going to do some natural sagging on its own. You just pull them as tight as you need to pull them without breaking them, and then they'll still sag. Yeah, I think you can see this one pretty well here.
Yeah, I can see it where it goes across the red.
Yeah,
of your light.
yeah.
That's where I can see it. After you get past it, though, it blends right in.
Yeah, you'll see it a lot more once I get all the wires strung.
Sure, you will.
Now, like I said, when you do utility poles, you're going to want to go a little bit thicker on the wire, especially when you're running them to a house or a business, because at that point, you've got 3 wires that are woven together and run to a house. So that's a lot thicker. But for these telephone poles, just this size of wire, and this was, it said it was one, if I'm not mistaken, it was 1/10,000th of an inch, so it equaled out to about a 7/16 inch thickness wire. I think anything thicker than that, it's too overwhelming, at least for my vision.
Yeah.
So. And once again, you don't have to run every wire on these. I am going to skip some insulators and not run every wire, because I think not only is prototypically you wouldn't have a wire on every insulator, but it would be too much, I think, in HO scale. Because you're trying to give, a good idea of how things look. This is what you're really trying to do. Oh, Randall's in here.
Yeah, Randall and Y negative.
Yeah, Rob, how are you doing?
Y -4. Well, you run -4. Rob.
Yeah, that's easier to say.
Yeah. Stormy Sky Rail Productions, how are you?
Stormy, how are you doing? So hopefully I'll have this whole end of the layout done pretty soon. I'm trying to get this whole end done. I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do here. Probably maybe another pasture. A lot of times you'll see pastures across railroad tracks from each other. So. But I don't know yet. Wilmer had a good suggestion, but it's going to be a surprise. Right, Wilmer?
What are you talking about?
For back here.
Oh, for back there.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I've got little fence posts back here painted on the layout. And then I'm going to run some fence posts here and then across for my pasture. So have some barbed wire fence.
Rob says it looks like a fine place for a farmhouse and a barn.
I'm going to have my little cows back here, and I've got John's HO Trees, the guy that made the cypress trees here in my swamp, he's making me a real big oak tree, a live oak. And so I'm going to have, I think I'm going to put that live oak right in the middle here. You know, the cows want some shade.
That'd be better than a dead oak.
Yeah, but I think big live oak right here in the middle will look really nice.
Oh man.
Yeah. You don't have live oaks up north, do you?
We have oak trees.
Yeah. The live oaks usually get really big in diameter, the trunks, and the branches hang low and they're kind of scraggly looking, but they're really nice looking trees. They're really interesting looking trees.
Yeah, I did think I seen a picture of those from down your way.
But that's turn my lantern off there. So, what other kind of questions do we have? Anything?
People who make power wells make a rusty wire that looks like barbed wire.
Oh, that's good.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool for on your fence there.
Yeah, I have not seen that. So this, I'm trying to think. I ordered this wire off of Amazon, but like I said, it's the smallest I can get. It's I want to say it's zero. I want to say it's 1/10,000th, but it's very, very tiny. Oh, that errored.
Barbed wire. No, it's barbed wire.
Barbed wire.
Barbed wire. How are the cotton fields coming along? Split Rock wants to know.
Oh, I haven't done anything over there.
What?
I know I need to get to that side. I got busy on this end doing this, and I didn't get over to my cotton fields yet. Yeah, this is beading wire is what this is that I'm using. I looked at the Walthers. Is it Walthers or Woodland Scenics? Who has the strung power poles?
I don't know.
That you can just buy in a package and they're already strung. I thought the wire looked kind of thick, at least for me. So that's why I wanted to go with something smaller. Yeah, Possum says where I'm modeling, it's called bob wire.
Barbed wire. Rapido made that is what Rob is saying that made the ones that.
Well, Joe said it was Woodland Scenics too.
Yeah, Rapido made some too.
Yeah. Yeah, and they just like I said, they make power poles anyway. They're not telephone poles. At least I didn't see that they had any. Yeah, if you go along the railroad track, every once in a while, you'll still see an old telephone pole standing up. They didn't take all of them down; took most of them down, but every once in a while you'll still see one.
Split Rock says, hook the bob wire up to your 14-volt DCC bus wire. Then you'll have an electric fence.
Hey, there you go. That'll keep the cows in, won't it?
Yep.
That'll keep the cows in. You're back.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm glad you're not picking your nose or something.
I wasn't. I do have my hanky here. I have been blowing my nose.
Oh, I know. I tell you. I know allergies plus up there with your smoke.
Oh, they got that smoke again, and the pollen has been, the tree pollen has been just horrible.
Cows in and cats out. That's right. Yeah, I hope the cat doesn't get over there. If he does, I'm gonna kill him. You'll see one dead cat.
No, you won't. That's your buddy.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Katrina took out a lot of the old unused poles down around here.
I'm sure it did, because I remember
I
was down there during Katrina and was with a line crew. We just cleared, all we did was clear the trees out of the way. And man, I seen poles that were twisted up. You'd never dream poles. I seen the steel poles that, like, for light poles, just snapped off like they were nothing. So, yeah. You go up a block and it didn't look like anything came through.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah, it is.
Yep, you're right, Bob. After 10 minutes, the wire would become a big ball of crap.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. It was still railroad property.
Yeah.
People steal anything, won't they?
That didn't stop them. Oh, you got to that's right. You need a flat car with carrying poles now.
That's right.
That's right.
I don't know. Maybe Tom, you do know. How long were those poles in use? I know they were still up in the 70s. Were they still using them? I don't know. Do you know, Wilmer?
No.
Because
no, I don't.
You had radios coming in, and as long as you had an antenna, you really didn't need the communication poles any longer.
I could remember, as a kid, even seeing poles with the insulator, along roads, not just the railroad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And you could always tell the insulators were the ones that were doing the communication lines.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They were always lower than the power lines, which were higher.
Right.
But man, them insulator ones were. It wasn't long. I was a kid. That was probably in the 60s.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long. They did away with them and went to what they're doing now.
See, the 60s and the 70s, like I say, they were still there, but I don't know if they were in use.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that. Because what you would have was that would act like an antenna. So when the train communicated with the radio, it would the communication poles were an antenna to so the the signal would travel along those poles.
Yeah.
But when you got longer range radios, you didn't really need that kind of stuff.
Rob says even in the 70s, some railroads didn't have radios. Lehigh Valley was one of them, and the crews brought their own walkie-talkies to talk from head to end to the chummy.
To the crummy.
Crummy, chummy.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't even know if they were in use, but they were there. They were definitely there. They were there till the 90s in a lot of places.
Right.
And now in this area, there is a place I've seen one that hasn't been taken down, one pole along the railroad track. Yeah. Oh, we got a visitor.
No, she just wanted my super glue.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so I guess nobody has any more questions. Yeah, Bob says if I power the wires, the cat will leave it alone.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, I really appreciate you joining us this evening.
Yep. We'll have Dave next week.
Yeah.
Crooked River and Eastern.
I hope
And he also
whatever
has his Thursday show. Don't forget it in the mornings.
Yeah, I hope I helped somebody if you wanted to know anything. If not, we chatted.
Yeah, but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Looking at your shirt.
Yeah. And Bob, you're absolutely right. Some of the cross arms were not only for communications, but the signals, the grade crossings, etc. Yeah, all those wires ran along those poles.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh. Hmm.
All right. Well,
all right.
Gentlemen, I think gentlemen, I don't know if there's any ladies in here, but if you are, hello, ladies. I will see y'all next time, and remember to tune in to Dave at the Crooked River and Eastern next week. So,
all right.
Yeah. Y'all take it easy, and we will see you later.
All right. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye now. God bless.